Hi everybody! Somebody give me a new catchphrase because that just isn't as cool. Okay, so I just did my step 1 tutorial. So step 1 is sanitize your hands. Next is get the oil off your face. That either means washing it or using a oil blotting sheet. Whoops. Step number 3 is applying a breakout treatment. So I use Clean and Clear Advantage Spot Cream. So link to the first video should be, I'll try and figure out how to put it on a box on the screen, but should be down below. So in case I add this to some of my tutorials later on, I'm going to start with those steps again. Well, not exactly start, but start with the first step at least of sanitizing my hands, because I do a lot of my work with my hands, and I don't want any of that stuff in my makeup, even though it's going to be anyway. The less I can minimize it, the better. Sorry if I'm not looking actually at you. I'm looking at the screen and myself. I don't know why, it's just a little bit easier for me. So I'm going to try and look at the little camera thing as much as I can, but I'm kind of short, so it feels like I'm looking up when I'm really not. So I'll try that out. Okay, so sanitizing my hands. Now, this is a trick that I had learned from Michelle Phan, and I absolutely adore it. So take your foundation sponge and dunk it in water. So I have a little thingy of water here, a little ramekin of water, and I put my sponge in there, and I'm just going to leave it aside while I'm doing the next step here. Now, some people use a moisturizer, and I'm going to do it only for the sake of this tutorial to show you how, but I personally don't use it. So, oops, sorry, that's a little too bright. I've got my lighted mirror here and it kind of makes me a little washed out. So just put this on where you're going to need it. So in your dry spots. So mine's right on my nose. I get pretty dry there, which is really weird because everybody tells me that your T-zone is supposed to be oily, but mine is actually really dry. And I also like to put some gently under my eyelids and underneath. So no particular moisturizer that you want to use, is like just whatever you want to use, whatever you know that isn't going to react with your skin. I use Olay Quench. It's a little sample thing I got at Walmart, at Buck I think it was, only because I don't use it often. I use it in the wintertime more so than I use it in the summer. Next step is pin your hair back. Whatever you don't want to get covered in makeup, pin it back. Now I look absolutely silly, but do it. So now take out your sponge. So it's going to be all waterlogged and gross and thick and swollen. Wring it out. This prevents your sponge from soaking up all of your makeup. So it kind of gives you a little bit more bang for your buck when you buy makeup. Then there's some weird buzzing. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that just kind of caught me off guard. It's 10 o'clock at night here, and that kind of creeped me out because I just finished watching a scary movie. I know I'm a wimp. So take your foundation. I use CoverGirl True Blend, and I am the lightest of the light. So take that and apply a tiny little bit on the sponge. So there you go. Now dot the areas that you're going to want the coverage the most. So your nose, your cheeks, maybe, oh, sorry, I keep going black, I don't know how to shut that off. So your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead, and then working in a downward motion. See, I look all splotchy and gross. Working in a downward motion, pull it down, because the hairs on your face, even though they're light, they go down. So work in a downward motion, it makes it look a little bit less noticeable that you're wearing makeup. So work it down, and I'm going to try and do this as quickly as I can, only because I want to get this done so I can move on to another one. I haven't uploaded anything yet, only because it tells me that it's going to be taking an hour to upload something. And I'm using a Mac, and I'm using iMovie 09, and it's not being my friend lately. It used to be, because I have another channel, but it's not being my friend lately. So if somebody wants to let me know why it takes me an hour to upload one tiny 5-minute movie, that would be great. I have an incredibly fast internet connection, so it's not that. So any suggestions will help. Okay, there we go. Covered. So put your lid back on your makeup because that's what's going to spill all over the place inevitably. Then you can take your concealer. I have the CoverGirl Fresh Complexion. Now most of my makeup is, my foundation is CoverGirl, only because it's drugstore cheap and it works really well for my skin without making me break out. So I use that. So dab a little bit under your eyes, and I do a little bit on top. And a big area for me is lightly do it inside your nose, and then dab just a little bit on top of your problem area. So broke out a little up there, and a little over here. I tend to break out here a lot, only because I wear glasses. So that's a good thing to keep clean, is your glasses, because that will leave a lot of gunk all over your face. Plus, if you wear makeup like I do, your glasses are going to soak up a lot of makeup. So that doesn't mean you need to put it on thicker. It just means you need to clean your glasses a lot, because otherwise if you don't, you're going to leave makeup streaks all over your face. Also, I used to work in optical. One thing that helps you to stop your makeup from going all over your face, like especially on plastic glasses because they don't have a nose pads, is to make sure they fit correctly. So make sure there's no gaps around your nose, because if they slide down your nose, you're just going to be wiping off all your cover-up. And I have seen girls come in who do this, and you know what, I'm going to need another hairpin, and don't have proper fitting glasses before they come to me, and they wind up with like a giant streak down their nose with no mascara. No, not mascara, foundation, sorry. Next step, chapstick. This is Blistex Deep Moisture Renewal. Just one quick swipe, sorry, around your lips, just so you can start the moisturizer from starting, so that this way you can get that going. Now, I have two different foundations here. I have one for, not foundations, powder foundations here, smoothers. I have a pressed powder here, which is ivory, and then I have this one here that's translucent fair. Now I'm just going to use the translucent only because the weather's still nice out, and with my complexion, I'm pasty pale and I burn like instantly. That's what I get for having Irish blood in me. So I know I'm really dark haired and I don't look Irish at all, but I'm half Irish, half Ukrainian, so I get it both. So now you want to take your foundation brush, get a little bit on there, and then again, work in a downward motion and only pick up when you need it. Otherwise, you're going to end up looking chalky, and nobody wants that. So don't do it. I tend to demand a lot from my people, so I demand that you don't take this on. So put this on, and then another tip from Michelle Fan, flatten out your thingy, your brush, and press it on, because this will help make it stick. And before I learned this tip, it really definitely made it look like I was wearing the powder. After doing this step, it takes away. Now also, please don't forget your neck. So I only usually bring down the powder, because your neck is usually lighter than the rest of your face, only because the sun doesn't get under. So do that. So that is it. Completely covered. Yay! So stay tuned for my next tutorials. I'm probably going to do something really simple and easy first. I'll probably show you my normal look, which I wear most of the time, and then go from there. So if you want to start requesting some looks, leave them down in the comment boxes below, and I'll go from there.